You! All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Creative Mood podcast. I am your host, Sacha Omer. I'm a musician based in Montreal. I'm of Turkish descent. This podcast here is my weekly excuse to invite an artist from a different discipline and to talk about their creative process. I want to understand how what they do in their creative pursuits relate to their lives. This week, I am speaking with Aisha Vertus, aka Gayance. Aisha was the third guest on my podcast in 2021. I told her I was going to start a ting. I told her I needed some guests, people that I trust, people that I think are dope. She did not hesitate. She hooked it up, and she's continued to hook me up in small ways ever since. She's a true OG. What can I tell you? And now she's killing it, yeah? She is residing in Amsterdam. She has a record label representing her in the UK, not mean. And we are going to talk about her new first record, Mascarade. It's quite an adventure. It's going to get emotional in this podcast. At one point, Aisha does get emotional speaking on her things. We talk that shit. We talk about our family, our parents. There happens to be a skit in there that's with her dad. I'm also as well incorporating questions from my dad to my guests. So it was kind of a nice happenstance. And at the end of the song, at the end of the podcast, we're going to be breaking down her song called Full Moon Rising. So if you want to just skip all the shit talking and get right to the creative thing, it's at the end. Aisha and I are kindred spirits. Like a lot of people on this earth, we have a lot going on inside, you know? A lot of different backgrounds, unique challenges. That's what I love about Aisha. She is so fucking strong. She is inspiring in that sense. And I can tell you that her music comes from a deep, genuine place. And you know, just an FYI, you'd be surprised to know how many artists who make music that it's not that profound to them. Aisha, like myself, is one of those people where her music means the world to her. Every little thing about it has a meaning. I say this to say that you can relax when you're listening to this record because she's taking care of us. On that note, we cue to the music. Oh yeah, whoa. All right, I'm gonna do this thing real quick. Please like and subscribe wherever you're listening. Please, if you're a new listener, follow me on Instagram, Creative Mood Boy. Follow us on YouTube, like the channel. You know what it is. I'm saying it because it matters. I want to make a living out of doing this one day. So these little actions, if you like the podcast, if you've gotten this far, take 2 seconds. Do it for me. Do it for us. Fuck. Yo, what's up tout le monde? Je voudrais vous parler de notre sponsor, la boutique Audiophonie, au 5971 rue Saint-Hubert, sur la Plaza, c'est juste à côté. Ils font la vente et la réparation d'équipements pro audio, c'est-à-dire des speakers, des tables tournantes, des amplis. Ces gens-là prennent leur réparation à cœur. Ils garantissent leur travail 90 jours. Mentionnez le podcast et recevez 10 % de rabais sur tout achat ou réparation. Ils sont sur Instagram, boutique Audiophonie, ou vous pouvez leur écrire un courriel pour toutes sortes de questions à audiophonie@live.ca. C'est du monde qui croit en moi et je crois en eux. Je vous invite à aller les encourager comme ils encouragent votre boy. Merci beaucoup. So, are we doing this conversation in English?
We could. I mean, ça peut être bien. C'est vrai que ça. Je parle pas beaucoup français ces temps-ci, malheureusement. Hein. Mais là, t'es au Québec, est-ce
I think we could do something maybe in French at the end,
at
perhaps.
the end, but I feel like it's gonna be good because we wanna everybody.
Well,
the
I have my
listener-
reasons for doing that, and so do you. And I definitely want to be honest about it. It's that, like, I think that my who I am, anyways. I'm Anglophone. I'm bilingual. I'm not Montrealer, so to speak, in that limitation.
Mhm.
And you're an artist, and you live in the Netherlands now.
Yes.
And-
Ik spreek Nederlands een beetje.
Shout out.
Ik ben een vrouw.
It's so I think it's really great that we get to do this. It's going to help me a lot. I decided on the podcast that I was going to speak to more and more Anglophone artists.
Sick.
So I'm glad we're doing this.
Let's do that.
Aisha, it's your second time on the podcast.
It is.
A lot's happened, yeah?
So much happened.
Yeah, so tell me a bit, like you were telling me about a few things this morning. You just got back in town. You're doing a few shows.
Yeah, so I'm living in Amsterdam right now,
Yeah.
and then so I wanted to do a very special album launch that was like different than the ones I was doing in Amsterdam, London, and Lisbon.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play with the original band because they're the fucking best.
Bet.
And also I wanted to show like another experience of my artistry. Like I wanted to show something new, completely new.
I mean,
And I love doing the British accent, even though my Brit friends say I'm terrible at that. And
I bet.
And people outside of the UK say, "Oh, you're so good for a Quebecois girl to do that."
That's why I don't do it much, because I know I'm not good. Even when people say, like, "Oh, you're so funny," it's like,
Still do it.
I hear you.
But yeah, to get back to the thing, so
Yeah.
so I'm playing with a band. So we're 9 people on stage.
Wow,
And
amazing.
yeah, and so we're doing that at Phi Center, and yeah, I really wanted to showcase that in a way that was like big, and then like also like out of the 9 musicians, there's like 5 vocalists, so we can really like play around and have harmonies. I'm a
yeah,
sucker for
for
good
sure,
harmony, and I'm
for sure.
fine. And then so because the show in Europe is a trio.
Right.
So it's me, Malik, aka Retro Migration, on the bass,
Yo.
and Inia, a Swiss Italian drummer who's also a kick-ass like keyboard player. And I mean, they didn't work on the album, but they just like
They get it.
they get it,
Yeah.
and they're friends. I love them, and yeah,
Shout out to those people.
yeah. You imagine like a German, Nigerian, and a Swiss Italian saying tabarnak all the time.
You're doing us proud, baby.
Oh,
Doing
yeah.
us proud.
Hey, don't get mixed up.
One thing that always lives in my mind is when on the last time you came on the podcast, you said, "C'est moi le go." This just stays in my mind constantly. So you kind of came back just because you're like, this is like the victory lap. You're doing the home shows.
Yeah, home shows
Yeah.
are always the most challenging.
Yeah, I bet you're nervous to do these things. Sheesh.
Yes, I guess the nerve is I don't want to be too emotional
Mhm.
because it makes me emotional. Like, so basically it's like, I mean, Phi Center is a very nice venue, like the sound, the people working there, all that stuff.
Mhm.
So, I mean, aside of the album, I'm an overachiever.
Sure.
So, I decided to work with Maëlys Roy-Lessard, who's a director,
Okay.
to make like a short film that goes with the album.
Mhm.
And then so we're gonna finally like show this to the world.
You did not do the thing at the cinema the other day?
Yeah, so we did it at the
Yo.
Cinéma Moderne.
By the way, I gotta come clean. I forgot about it.
It's okay. A lot of people
Man,
forgot, even my
oof.
closest friends, because like I missed my flight, not because I missed it, but because they canceled it. And so I was like in a
Oh.
kind of a loophole in my
Right.
life, and then I was like, man, and then I didn't like contact everyone to like as a reminder,
Right.
and it's hard for me to do reminders outside of a story on Instagram. Otherwise, I'm
Sure.
like, oh, it's so overwhelming.
I'm just like you. I think most people are like that now, anyways.
It's crazy.
Aisha, Mascarade.
Way.
How do you feel?
I feel like wow, we did it, Joe. We did it, Joe.
Mm.
Like, oh my God, like so much had happened physically, mentally, spiritually. Um, a lot of blessings, a lot of downfalls, a lot of transformations, and I'm very proud of myself. Like and I doubted a lot, and sometimes I doubt again, but
Mm.
about new things now. But I'm very happy, and it was the most spiritual thing I've done in my life. And I'm very happy for the turnover, and I'm proud because tabarnak esti, who like for
Sheesh.
real, not only like it's my first album that I've produced, and then
Yeah.
but oh like yeah, but also the whole going out of the nest and just like being like, you know what, I'm gonna bet on myself,
Mm.
and then just leave. Because I decided to move to Amsterdam, like it was
Yeah.
the most impulsive thing. I was living in Brussels from 2017 to 2020,
Yeah.
and then in the pandemic I was in Brazil, and I
Yeah.
was stuck there. I had to come back here, and I was like in the mood of destruction mood. I was like, I want to destroy everything, and then this calmed me down. It was like a way to channel that whole like anger energy,
Hmm.
and then I went back on tour in spring and summer, and I was like 1 month in Europe, 1 month here, 1 month in Europe, and then I was like, whoa, I'm gonna burn out.
Right. I
and
remember
then
that.
and then I was like, bro, I cannot burn out like 6 months before my album comes out.
Mm.
And then I was like, you know what, girl, thank God like you make that money now, so
Hey.
you can either like stack it up, let it sit,
Mm.
and do something with it, what you want to do with it. And then me, ooh, I don't buy shoes impulsively, or I don't buy bags, or I buy plane tickets.
Let's go. That's
Like,
the best thing to do. Absolutely.
yeah, a stack of money, like, wow, like, that's the thing I love to do.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? I have a little stack from the summer because I like to keep the euros in the euro bank account. Like, we have to talk about money. To me, it's also very important. Some people will say she's a Capricorn. Capricorns, they love to talk about money, we're the money sign and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Dans le sens que it's important as artists that we also talk about how we manage our
We
money.
should be fiscally responsible.
Voilà, tu vois.
Yes, je
Because
t'entends.
technically, I'm still a fiscally a resident of Quebec,
Yeah.
and I still pay my taxes and stuff. I'm also a resident of another place, and I have,
It comes with
also
its own challenges.
taxes to pay to this country as well.
Hmm.
So, but I think like the way, also if we want to be sustainable as artists, we have to have a way to manage that money, so it can be like, okay, I can invest in my art, or I can invest like in myself. Like
What's your thinking, or like, I don't want to say tricks, like give me
yeah,
your tricks, but more like, can you explain your mindset in more practical terms? Like, are
yeah,
there specific gestures that you do in order to
yeah.
achieve what you're saying?
For example, like touring is very expensive.
Hmm.
Touring is mad in it.
Insert money sign, yeah.
Genre, touring is very expensive, and unfortunately this is where a musical artist can have the most fun, like instantly.
Sure, it's that sort of that's what we grow up idolizing.
Yeah.
Musicians do, they play in front of crowds,
Yes.
and it's like I do it, and it's
Yeah, it's the most
whoo.
lucrative thing to do as a musician in 2023, because
Is it?
yes, because you won't, like, if you don't have the connections for sync placements, like, and you need to make that pop thing that they want to
Mm-hmm.
be placed on a Netflix, on a whatever, and then you
Yeah.
need that lawyer to check out the contract. So it's like a lot of money spent if you want that sync money,
Mm-hmm.
which can be like from 5,000 till 30,000 plus.
Yeah, yeah.
30,000 plus. But for sync, it's like I feel like there's much more admin and money to be spent to earn that money and
Mm-hmm.
connections and things. But then if you really want to be sustainable on your own and stand alone, like touring can be good, but you really have to be smart. Don't go back to the same place. Like if you go from Paris, don't and you want to play to the end is in Berlin, don't come back to to the same
Yeah,
point.
just sort of do a straight line, so to
Exactly.
speak.
Do a straight line.
Mhm.
Also, like, do groceries while you're on tour. I mean,
Mhm.
try also to manage. Like, I mean, I have a booker, thank God. Shout outs to Ornella.
She
You know, Ornella and Mark from Sounds Familiar. It's very, very good agency.
sounds familiar. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's based in Rome. They have one of the biggest electronic music house.
I think I've seen. I googled them when you announced it.
I was shocked.
Shooked.
Shocked when I started working with them. But like I have people, so I'm very grateful. Mais dans le sens où like they also like if you're doing this, you can do this on your own because I cannot say that because it's mean, but I mean I don't need
Speak your mind.
I don't need a booker because they request, and then the booker manages the fees.
Yeah.
But then if you're independent and you don't have a booker, it's okay because if people ask for you to play and then you just need someone to manage that, you just need, when the offer comes in, I also program festivals, so I
Yeah,
know
you know
the
what's
end
up.
game.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so always ask for, a buyout for your stay for the day,
Mhm.
and then your transport, ground transport, flight,
Per diem,
train.
all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then food. So you know that day that you're working, you won't spend money on your food and your transport because you're working, and then everything is paid for, you won't spend it. You will gain also that fee. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you also have to deal that with the people, and the days in between, you really like manage it that you stay in a place that is cheap or low cost,
Yeah.
and then that you can like yes, visit if you have time or rest, and then like don't spend too much money on food and stuff. Like some people, they go on tour, and then on their break days they're like spending all their money on
Yeah,
like
or simply people have like bad living habits.
also
You know, people be drinking, doing drugs, partying, not
Uh,
sleeping, not exercising.
exactly, and it's
Or
easy to do that.
yeah, because there's a lot of downtime.
Trust me, daddy. It's very very
Trust me.
So like it's just a way to like you can
Yeah.
do that, everybody can do that, like like it's just it's not that glamorous, it's just like organization, and like be clear with the promoter what are your needs. If the promoter is not giving you like the food and the transport, like try to rise up the fee. And if they cannot rise up the fee, then ask yourself,
Is that worth it?
is it worth it?
Yeah, what am I really getting out of those gigs?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, this gig, like, I won't lie to you, I played at Jazz Cafe for like £250, which was the lowest fee I got in like for a band. Also, so split in three. No, it was 500 because we raised it up. £500.
Raise it up.
But it was like none of us plays for that amount, like ever.
I hear you.
Ever.
And
then we did it because it was that venue, it was iconic, and we all felt like, wow, like Jazz Cafe London is like, it's very iconic, so we want to be on that stage.
Sure, yeah.
And then also because we were like, you know what, like me, I had to go to London for a few days, and okay, like the PR, she was like, okay, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and then we had a strategy, we built things around that. And then even though I have a PR because I'm signed to a label, like you can yourself like call friends and be like, can I come to your radio show? Like also build
Sure.
with other artists, and then make sure that your word is circulating. Because the thing is like, because sometimes artists are like scared of like promoting their things.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
A lot of people don't feel like yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't understand that thing.
it's
Do you have
like,
that?
No.
Fuck it.
No, fuck it.
Good.
Because like even though I have imposter syndrome, I tell myself like, you know what? I've worked so hard.
Yeah, that's
So
the,
hard. And then also the people who worked with me as well, they've worked so hard and they believed.
Yeah.
So like for
You make a
that,
good point.
you know what I'm saying?
Because you got to get out of your head. Like there are people working with you who believe in you. The least you could do almost is like to promote yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
And it's
You're right.
also-
Never thought about it like that.
It's a fun. It's like knowing your self-worth, and also like
Absolutely.
knowing like where you stand for. Some people like, nah, 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 I don't want to bug people up. Like, there's a way to do it, like, without like bugging people. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but I think this is a very Quebec thing.
We also,
Let's
c'est
be
vrai.
honest, like
C'est
people like
vrai.
né pour un petit pain, you know what I
C'est
mean?
ça, because Tyler, the creator, he said on that video, is like, I'm still promoting my album. It's been out since a year and I'm still promoting it. And I'm like, yeah, I fucks with this because we worked so hard.
Yeah,
You worked hard to put out those emotions on the
man.
song. And then eventually you work so hard to mix those tracks. And then,
By the time it comes out, you're over it.
yeah,
You still got to
exactly.
give it that extra love.
Exactly, and then you have to do all the visual things around it, and that, like
Mm.
keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing,
Mm.
and then people shouldn't feel like as bad to do that. Like, I feel like as artists, we also have to have a certain alliance with other artists, and
Mm.
not necessarily by doing collaborations and things. Like, sometimes you like someone, but you won't necessarily get
The
in the studio.
styles are not like,
Yeah, or
yeah.
you won't necessarily get in the studio with them, but oh, you know what? Like, um, I like you, like, because you do XYZ. Let me just help you out. Like, right now, just by doing this thing in English, I know I'm helping you in some ways, and you're helping me in some ways because I don't feel like people understand me at all. So
I
I
hear you.
get to explain myself, and then we're all doing. It's like an exchange of energy because I sense that a lot. So many people go in my DM like thinking like I'm fucking Santa Claus, like, oh, Aisha booked me a fucking tour, and I'm just like, bro, like,
Yeah, that's not like that.
like, no.
Aisha, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like
Speak a lot.
speaking on the fact that we're doing it in English, I would
Ouais.
like to because I know in when we speak in French, a lot of people, some people know your story, so but not a lot of people know it in English.
No.
So let's start there if you
Let's
don't
go.
mind, and I'm gonna play a little something to put us in the mood.
Okay.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Aisha Vertus. J'ai beaucoup mal au main. Au revoir. J'ai beaucoup boubi, j'aime toute la famille. Dis-moi donc, on va faire un bon spectacle. Dis-moi donc, on va faire un bon spectacle. Comme t'avais prêt à te rêver. C'est toujours la grande grenouille qui lui dit bonjour.
I love this. How old were you on this thing?
I think I'm 4.
So let's start there. 4 years old. You're born in Montreal.
Yeah, I was born in Montreal, Saint Justin.
Let's go. Me
On
too.
New Year, baby.
Okay, that's right. That's right. And born and raised in Montreal. Where in Montreal did you grow up?
So I grew up in Montreal Nord,
Mm-hmm.
okay, northeast of Montreal. For those who don't know, it's a neighborhood with a lot of Haitians, Italians, Latinos, and now a lot of people from North Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It's really multicultural. I would say Italians, they speak English mostly, but then most people speak French there.
Mm-hmm.
There's the river also close to there. And
What do your parents do for a living?
so my parents, they work like mostly like in the community based work. My dad is retired now.
Rather, what were your parents doing when you were a child?
My dad was working, I think, at the Maison des Jeunes L'Ouverture, and he was also doing Basket de Rue.
Youth homes, right?
Yeah, youth homes. And then Basket de Rue was like this program that kids could like do like street basketball and stuff. And there's a few like Chris Boucher and stuff, like they pass through that program.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So and then my mom, I mean, she's still active. She has a Fondation Muntu. So
Amazing. What are your parents' names?
Lazare Vertu et Katia Cariote.
Love it. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have a little sister. Her name is Sarah Jeanne,
Okay.
and she's 13.
Whew. That's that age. I remember when my sister was 13.
My God.
Okay. And so tell me, you went to school in Montreal in French?
Yeah, so I went to elementary school at Saint Gertrude.
Okay.
And it was on Saint Gertrude Street, pas loin de Léger.
Mhm.
And it was like, it was a public school, but it was like specialized in arts. So
Okay.
we could do
Tell me about that.
theater, music, piano classes, dance, art plastique,
Sure.
like
Arts and crafts.
yeah, arts and crafts. Yeah, did I say theater?
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can say it again. Theater.
theater. Because I was very good. My mom was very proud. She was
Right.
one time we did like some kind of like Shrek play, and I played like the evil witch, and I was so good. My mom was like bragging. People were like, "Hey, don't be born like it," and my mom was like, "Yes, my fee, like she's
Sure.
so good, and it's my daughter." And so yeah, I
Okay.
always like low-key, I love acting. I like to do characters in life.
I can tell you're so exuberant and you take that space. It's great. And when did music play? Well, rather, what role did music play in your childhood, in your upbringing?
So basically, I mean, everybody in my family was like a music lover, in their own ways. My
Mhm.
aunties, they were like blasting 90s R&B all the time. My aunt Sylvie, she was playing in the choir, Montreal Jubilation Choir, and also in my grandfather's choir,
Okay.
Feu Nouveau.
Singing people.
Yes, and
Okay.
then like Jesus singing, like it's serious.
How
About
black?
Jesus,
Yes.
about Jesus.
Je comprends. Love it.
And then my uncle GC and Patrick, they were like club promoters,
Right.
bringing Daft Punk, Moby, like
Yes, yes,
Beanie
yes.
Man, all those guys like making rave stuff. And then and my dad, he was like a blues fan, loved Jimi Hendrix, he loved jazz, Miles Davis,
Mhm.
like the things, and also his 90s dancehall. My mom, she was a music fan as well. She was listening to a lot of ballads.
Okay.
And then
She's a lover.
yes, she's a Scorpio. And then she was doing contemporary dance when she was younger, and so she had a
Okay.
cassette of Art of Noise, which is like this new wave like group, and I was always like beatboxing to this, like in this interlude I'm trying to copy like the Art of Noise
Oh.
sound,
Boom,
because
boom.
it was so, I loved it, the sounds, it was
Right.
so much textures. I was obsessed with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when did you start? When did DJing come into your life? Like, how do we get from Aisha is trying to beatbox to Aisha's making beats?
So as I was yesterday at Tapwater MTL,
Yeah. Oof, the footage from that thing was
that thing,
dirty. Eh.
it was so amazing. I come from dance,
Mm-hmm.
I was dancing since I'm 4,
Yeah.
and I was in a dance school called Danse Mode Action, and it was in the basement of Radio Canada back in the days. And then they moved to Saint Laurent, and the street close to the Parc Jarry, Fayon?
Castelnau?
No, a little bit down, a little bit more down, maybe
Yeah.
Fayon.
All right.
And downstairs was
Next to Fit for Life.
c'est ça.
Sheesh.
It was upstairs of
There you
Fit
go.
for Life.
There you go. Okay. I see exactly what you mean. I grew up. That's exactly where I grew up.
Exactly.
Fit for Life. That's like
exactly.
wow. Okay.
So we were like, but it was like, it was dance school, but it's also like a casting agency.
Okay.
I was the only black girl there. It was, and then like my role model, dance role model, passed away from brain cancer. Kind of broke me, but then like it was a universe that was like great. Like I got to do like TV and film experiences through that, but like as a black girl teenager, it's not a very good environment to be around, because it was not that inclusive in some ways, and the casting, they were always like, yeah, they cast you because you're black, not because you're good, and then you ask yourself questions. You're at an age like where you need approval in some ways,
Yeah, sure.
and then that approval coming from like, oh, you're only there because you're black,
You're the quota.
exactly, and then it's just it fucks your brain up. And then
Sure.
eventually I started to do like street dancing. I was at Urban Element, so I met a lot of people that
Sure.
I know them since I'm like 16 and stuff, and
Yeah.
I was very happy to see them at Tapwater, and it really felt like home.
It's funny
For
because
real.
we have that same sort
Yeah.
of a connection from
And
the dance
then
community.
tell people we used to work together.
Sheesh. All right.
We're about to
You want to
forget
go
that.
there? Okay.
When
Yeah.
when I was 16 and you're 4 years
How
older,
old are you? I'm 35.
sis, we're 5 years apart.
Okay.
So
There you go.
I was 16.
So
you
I
were
was like
probably
18, 19, 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let's say 20.
C'est ça.
Yeah.
And then we were working at a shoe store
Yeah.
together on Mont-Royal at
Bear.
Industrie.
Yeah, that's exactly at Industrie on Montréal. That's where I met the guys that eventually I got
Ben, Nico.
Yeah, exactly.
Luis de
Gabriel.
Jesus, Gabriel, Alex Dunn.
Yep. But basically, that's where I met those people, which gave me like a big experience that I still carry to this day.
It's crazy.
But that's how I started Thumbs Up Clothing.
You know.
Yeah.
Those
Those
were the
were the days. Yo, people don't even understand. Like, I was like 20 years old. I was like, I had a brand and I was selling in different stores. Like, by the time that we ended that company, we were selling in Japan, in Toronto, in New York, in LA.
My God.
And you know how okay, full circle, right? Do you know how we got to open accounts in other clothing stores around the world?
No.
Through the dance community.
Of course. I'm not even surprised.
There used to be this guy, I forget his last name, Vic. You remember that brand, WSC?
Yeah.
We had our clothing with a store that was affiliated with them through Vic. Devious, Lorenzo Chapman from fucking Cali. We opened stores in Cali through him.
My God.
So the dance community is a very giving community. It's very open. It
is, but also like even yesterday, like there was some DJs I know in the crowd that are not at all in the dance community. And then they were like, wow, like, because the judge and the host was like, nah, it's not enough, like, da-da-da-da-da, be like this and this like that. And really, like, they're precise about what they want and the vibe and things and stuff. And some DJs were outside of the dance community. They were like, what? They were, like, surprised. And I'm like, yeah, at the end of the day, to me, dancers are, like, they're athletes. And also, beyond being athlete, they're artists.
Yep.
And as well, to me, like, if we keep it like hip-hop, like 5 elements, like, to me, dancers are the one who are holding the culture, and at the same time, they're the one who are the most, like,
put aside.
Put aside,
Absolutely. I could definitely say that. I'm surprised at how... Yeah, it's kind of the world upside down. I think you made a post about that yesterday that I couldn't agree more. I felt like, DJs and musicians, they're the ones fucking shit up a lot.
They're fucking shit up because of their egos and stuff. I feel like even that, like, sometimes people are like, oh, like, on my rider, the venue is like, oh, like, we're gonna put the DJ booth on stage, and I'm like, if possible, can you put it on the ground? And even the position, I mean, depending on where the PA is and stuff,
right?
Like, can I be like I don't want to be on the stage. I want people to be able to be around me and not necessarily like looking at me, because it's like, are you there to like stand around and look at me, or are you there to dance
100%.
and like flirt with someone, meet people and stuff? You know what I'm saying?
That's a very important distinction, what you just said.
It's just like, come on, like, for example, one thing I don't like about people in Amsterdam.
Tell me.
Shade. Is that the typical dammer, the blonde, tall ones,
Right.
The classic Arien, they really have this thing, like, they're so cold, stone cold, and I feel like they don't have emotions. They don't show emotions.
They are European in that sense.
No.
Come on,
No.
dog.
Europeans, there's different types. You have Italians.
Sure, of course. I'm making a big generalization, but like
the French, they're different. Like different.
But I know exactly what you mean when you say that.
Like, let's say Northern European, like Nordic Europeans.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, wow, like all the time, like not wearing colors and stuff, and they're really like stone cold, like no emotions and stuff. And
too cool for school. Yuck.
Too cool for school, and also they're so rich. I feel like
yuck. No need.
I'm not used to this, but then they need a whole lot of drugs. And I'm just like, whoa, like, why you need to do all that ketamine in the club? You know what I'm saying?
Those are people who just, a lot of people, unfortunately, I think that like the majority of people are not about the culture.
Exactly.
And then we are a very small minority of people who are like really upholding that culture, as you said, to bring it back to the dancers.
Exactly.
While we talk, I'm going to put a song.
Okay.
By the way, Aisha. Oh. Woo. Ugh. Woo. I cannot believe this jam. Please, forget these white boys Tell me about this song, please.
The Cloud Chasers anthem.
Yes. It's kind of all related. You know what I mean?
Oh, leave me alone. Yes. Oh my God. The song says it all, you know?
Right.
It's just like, yeah, there's too many cloud chasers in this world. And it's just, yeah, sometimes it's draining. It's very draining to feel those people. I mean, we made this song because, like, I did some stupid things. I invited someone in the creative process. And that person to me was a cloud chaser.
Okay.
Because of the energy he was giving, and he was like taking something from me and asking me some professional stuff at the same time. It was very weird.
Okay.
And then I invited this guy to my creative process, which was stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like literally come to Saint Adèle and stuff. That was very dumb. And then I got very pissed but I was in the best setting. I was in the forest with my two best friends, wine and shrooms. And so
yeah, I remember
we just talk our fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that was one of the best moments because that's how I started making the album.
Yeah.
It was with Peggy and Janet.
Yep.
And I know Janet for quite a while, like more than 6 years, and Peggy, I know her for like 12 years or something.
Okay.
And we never made music together.
That's funny.
Because also, to me personally, never force those things, you know?
Of course.
If it's friendship, like sometimes, like, don't mix it up. And it eventually will happen and it will play on BBC.
Whoops.
Mais you know,
Hi, Mom.
Non, mais c'est vrai.
No, but I hear you 100%. This song is like, that's my shit.
Oh.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's good to see you, man.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. Sometimes I feel like all the good people are leaving.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
But you know what?
I'm leaving too. Fuck y'all.
J'ai comme pété une coche là quand j'étais à Radio-Can a few days ago.
Okay.
And
what happened?
Because like I was very grateful for them to invite me to, you know, do a live performance with their band. I'm very grateful for that. But then the restrictions were not only affecting me, but were affecting like
the band, the mood.
They were affecting like, to me, other fellow musicians who can have those opportunities, you know? It's like, oh, like you can play 2 songs, like you can perform 2 songs, but those 2 songs cannot be in English at all.
Ugh,
and then
yuck.
And then I'm just like,
I'm disappointed that that's where this story went.
You know, and then I was just like, okay, I have a song with a hook in Portuguese on my EP, which I want to play like the songs of the album. I have one song that is like, you know, the little verse in English and the rest is Portuguese and Creole.
Yeah.
So I can do that. But then the rest is like, okay, like, let's play the instrumental. And I was like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, but no, you know.
Well, let's tell people that are listening that are not from Canada that in Quebec, there's this big issue with the language barrier and the culture here, where if you speak something else that's not... if you speak English, basically, because it's just English, you can speak anything else and it'll fall under some type of quota. But English, they'll deny you. And Radio-Canada is our BBC, so to speak. So for them to say to Aisha, like, oh, we can't play those songs because they sing in English, it's kind of the crux of something me and Aisha and a lot of other people here struggle with. It keeps the culture locked in.
Exactly. It's not affecting me only. Like,
it's affecting me directly.
Exactly. And then that's what I said to the host and to the director of the show. I was like, I know you're beyond that and stuff, but you can talk to the CRTC, who's like the one above making those laws. We don't have a quota of like English Québécois music, and then we prioritize that. And that's it. And that's it.
There, like, I just want to say it. It's straight up just, it's a colonial racist issue that I'm 35 years old, I'm still paying for something that makes no, like, at one point in our history in Quebec, like, I get it. but now it's just a form of control.
Yes, and also at the end of the day, we both speak French. Yes, right now we're currently
Ben oui,
speaking.
gros. Tu veux que je te parle en français, mon gars? I'll speak French.
Mais c'est ça, mais comme the whole thing is like, look, we have to export ourselves and speak English right now to be able to feed this project and my project, you know? So it's just a big loop, you know?
Give me 1 second, Aisha. And we're back. I just had to check if you were still recording.
Okay.
I got a little scared for a second.
So
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so you were saying, sorry.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't affect me only, but other people who are struggling, who don't have
Absolutely.
that much resources or ideas and stuff, but they make great music. Like, those people need to be heard. Why are we not making a quota of like Quebec resident? You have a carte soleil, you have your RAMQ card, you're born here.
I should
and
be
you live abroad.
eligible for anything that anybody else is eligible with.
You're eligible to have your music
100%.
break. Because we all know, like, Spotify ain't paying no fucking bills. You know what I'm saying? But those radio plays, if with those people making great music, it could. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And
I don't know if you know this. I'm sure you know this. What am I saying? Excuse me. But like, Sirius XM here in Quebec, I was told by a friend of mine, when her song plays on Sirius XM, she gets $50.
Yes, and the thing about SiriusXM that maybe you don't know, that is also very crooked, is that they prioritize those French-speaking artists. So they're the one who are making the most checks. So even us, we're still behind.
100%.
We're not prioritized, and then we're exporting ourselves, we're draining ourselves, burning out ourselves.
You had to move to another country to get recognition.
I don't have it yet. I'm playing at Montreux Jazz Fest. I didn't have a request to play at Montreal Jazz Fest.
Yep.
I still didn't play at Picnic. I still didn't play at Oshiaga. But I'm gonna play at P Bar inside Berghain. And it's just this is how it is. And I'm happy that Nunca Mais is playing because I made that song. I was mad.
Let's go.
But like it's just like I want to have Canada-wide exposure. I want to win the Polaris.
Let's go.
So-
She said it here first. Air horn.
You know, because like I want to be able to have that conversation and I will have a whole plan. When I'm gonna be shortlisted for Polaris, I'm gonna have so much PR Canada-wide that I'm gonna,
I forgot about that. You're gonna get shortlisted. Are you kidding me?
and then I'm gonna make a big, comment t'appelles ça là? Petition là, you know?
Petition.
Like a big petition, and then I'm gonna call people and when that thing roll, like I'm gonna have attention on me. I'm gonna talk about this because I really feel like this is something that we struggle with.
We do.
I feel like I'm seeing like BBC Radio 6, and then literally the studio is like not as cute as the new studio of Radio Canada. You know, like Radio Canada studio is way prettier in some ways.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah, but the thing about BBC is that they have programs. They have programs that are specialized in stuff, and yes, they promote artists from everywhere. And like, if really like the thing is about promoting local artists, Jesus, we have them, and not only in one genre of music, but in so many genres. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's not about me. It's about the people that will come after me and the people before me who were saying the same thing I'm telling you right now.
So what's the solution, Aisha?
The solution is really like mobilize ourselves and really like make pressure first on the programmers at the radio,
But
and then the programmers on the radio put the pressure on CRTC, you know.
So I think we should even skip the programmers on the radio because they're still beholden to the same rules. Like, they could only agree with us.
They could. They are in some ways.
So that's what I'm saying. It's basically it's a
just
CRTC issue.
It's a CRTC issue because it's a political issue.
It's a political issue.
Because some people also, like, culturally, they were raised like saying that their French-speaking culture will no longer exist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is like not the case. Yes, I'm saying that en anglais tabarnak, mais comme yo la gang, genre sérieusement comme
C'est pas ça là.
c'est pas ça du tout.
Absolument.
And then the thing is like for example, right now we're talking English for export reasons.
Yes.
And then but still we have a pool of people from the past, from the present, and the future. In the
I hear the
future,
ting.
and that have like a potential of like, of something that is big and beautiful and worth celebrating and different and stuff. Let's not wait every 10 years to have like, our Grammy winning artist and stuff like that, and have that one person, and that person anyway will have to export themselves as well.
100%.
Can we just celebrate artists that are here and that are doing things, not only with funding, but really by playing their music, and by people being proud of who they are and where they're from, by opening up the radio and listening to themselves and their stories with their music from here and here.
Where do I sign? I'll tell you what.
Vote for me.
You know what? We should do an episode where we invite those politicians and we talk to them. Straight up.
Yo, moi,
You
je
know
t'ai
what I
dit,
mean?
hein?
Yo.
Like my best friend Julio, because I told him, yeah, it's on my list. I want to go to Tout le monde en parle and I want to snap, And he's like, oh, come on, like, come on. And then I'm still on it, because I would love that. I would love to have this real conversation nationwide.
So if I make it
And
happen, you coming back on the show?
Even though if I'm on Zoom, I'm going to do it.
Okay, let's
You
go.
know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Real
Let's go.
shit. Non,
Okay.
mais c'est vrai.
But Aisha, we're joking about it. I'm dead serious. Like,
I
this
know.
affects me. This bothers me.
I know.
It irks me every day. And people
Yeah.
always be telling me, you gotta calm down. It's just it's a
No.
question of perspective. If you
No,
choose to
fuck
see it like
that.
this.
Fuck perspective, because we're all here. 57% of this island is non-Canadian of origin. Okay,
Absolutely.
we are the world. We are the children.
Hey.
Like, and this is the cultural capital of Canada. If we want it to still be and not become like some kind of like fake ass Toronto, because we don't fuck with Toronto low key. Sorry, but like,
Listen, it's just it's the yeah.
is we just have to be like, you know what, this is the Montreal reality, and this is how it is. People are not singing in English because they're like colonized minds or whatever. It's because they're artists that they're influenced by, if whether it's Bjork, Tom York,
We need to
or
open up to the
whatever,
world.
or Erykah Badu, or songwriters in English. And I guess even Bjork, English is not her first language.
Not at all.
And then like take it's just like you emulate what you
Everything
are
is
influenced
everything.
by. You know what I'm
It's-
saying? And it doesn't mean nothing. And it just means, like, for example, us speaking English right now, we just want to reach more people, because we're trying to have a conversation that is more global and that people understand our reality, because Belgian people can understand our reality as
Sure.
being like someone from Spain, Catalan can understand. And
Someone
then,
from France, someone from so many
Exactly.
other countries. Are
You
you
know,
kidding me? This is everybody's got a dual identity crisis. This is
Exactly.
not Quebec.
Tu vois ce que je veux dire?
But all these other places have overcome this. They've evolved. We can name these places. Everybody knows
Because
this.
this place has so much potential, but I feel like because like they're trying to retain people in this kind of box, and even myself,
Yes,
when I came
100%.
back, I had so much like people telling me stupid ass stuff like, oh, you still live at your mom's? Oh, you came back to work? And like also people, they want to see you, like, because this whole culture of like keeping it small, individuals to another individual, they want you to be small,
100%.
They're like, no, like,
Well, that's
if
a Quebec mentality.
Yeah.
Né pour un petit pain.
yeah, even though I live back there, I cannot come back and see my family and play a show. I need to be like in a certain way for you to accept like my thing, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, whoa. So when I came back, I was like, wow, I feel like I came back and I need to prove myself. This is not good.
Yeah.
And then, a couple of hot yoga sessions, and I was like, no, fuck that shit.
I'm back, baby.
No,
I hear you, dog. I hear you. I want to play another snippet, and this one, I have a question for you after this one.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Allô Aisha. Allô Aisha, comment ça va? Moi je m'appelle Lazare Vertus, je suis ton papa chéri, c'est ma fille adorée chérie que j'aime beaucoup. Je t'aime fort, 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 très, très fort. Même si des fois tu vois pas papa, ça veut pas dire que papa ne t'aime pas. Papa t'aime beaucoup. Des fois, papa est occupé. Tu vois, quand il veut venir voir Aïcha, puis il est déjà trop tard, Aïcha a déjà fait dodo. Mais ça ne veut pas dire qu'il n'aime pas Aïcha. Papa aime Aïcha très, très, très fort. Il l'aimera toujours, toujours, toujours. Je tenais à te le dire, tu es mon adoré, tu es ma fille que j'aime beaucoup.
Wow.
For those who don't know, this is a message that Aisha's father, I'm not exactly sure how you recorded it, but basically he's telling his daughter that he loves her very much. That although he's not always home there with her, he loves her very much and he's always there with her.
I recorded that when I was 4.
Oh, beautiful.
So you hear my voice as a baby,
Yes.
like talk. So I was 4, and I was always walking around the house with a Fisher Price microphone with a cassette.
Okay, I know which one you're talking. The little.
Yes, I was either recording beatboxing or I was like making interviews.
I decided that I was gonna start asking my guests questions that my dad wants to know.
Oh.
So I'm gonna snap my fingers and we're gonna make a little thing of my dad appear on screen. My dad wants to know what is the how has your dad contributed to the person that you are today?
I mean, this song is called Healing Process. Like, I mean, everything was not always like super pink and rainbows.
Yeah.
You know, and my dad was not always there like I wanted to when I was younger. But then, like, as I grew older, as I had a sister, we built like, you know, a much stronger relationship. And I mean, I have a lot of like personality traits of him. He's very charming. He likes to talk about politics and debates and stuff, and the way he smokes his cigarette and things, you know, and he loves to crack a joke. And, you know, when he was driving me around with listening to the radio, listening to all types of music and talking about all types of stuff and telling me, you know, like, you don't need to agree with me. You don't need to follow what I say. Like, you have to be standing on your own and being your own person. And if you want to tell me, shut up, dad, you can do it, you know? Just like, you know, he also
To
like
stand up for yourself.
exactly. He gave me this drill of like talking back and like you know, giving argumenting and things like that with people. He loves when I do it in front of him. He's like, haha, that's my daughter.
That's great.
You know, so yeah, it's like so it's like that. And then I mean, this whole album, like, I wanted to, you know, like, you know, close the door of a whole chapter in my life. And so I mean, we're good. And so I wanted to show this audio because it's from 96 or something. I was 4, and then everybody who listens to it and speak French, they all cry. Like,
Of course.
because like I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood where people were not, you know, really with their dads, or, you know, a lot of like single parents. And so it's like people, they get it, you know. They get it. It was not only for me, but it was for all those people who grew up with like just one parent, but that parent also is
Sure.
like
Just like me.
exactly. I think my dad was probably like 35. It was probably, you know, you're around your age and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then you know what's happening at that time, and then
Life is crazy.
life is crazy, and then I mean, we don't see our parents as being, you know,
Human. Like
human
imperfect and
exactly, or
Yes.
people of their own and
Yeah.
going through their own questioning about their own lives and stuff like that.
there's certainly a sense of like when you're younger, it's like, why are my parents doing this to me?
Exactly.
Why are they doing this? And we
And
fail
maybe
to
because people did that to them as well.
well, also just it's not personal.
Exactly.
It's not like I don't like my kids, so I'm gonna fuck them up.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, I'm also struggling.
Exactly.
I'm also trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
And
you
it
know?
takes us getting to that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then to make peace with that, and then to be like, okay, like, we good, you know?
So you guys are good now?
Yeah, we good.
Great.
He was there when I showed the film. He's gonna be there at my show, so
Great.
amazing. Oh, that's Mascarade.
So tell me about this song just a little bit.
Every time I make a song, I'm always pissed.
Okay.
I feel like anger is like something that drives me to do anything in life.
Interesting, because my first EP is called Anger is a Gift.
No.
So I can absolutely relate with you. It's been a driving force of motivation to change things.
But not to be too astrological, but you're an Aries,
Yes.
I mean, you're from Mars. Like anger is a gift for you.
Well, I mean, we're talking about here channeling your
I know.
emotions and
I
not
know,
just
I
like
know.
acting out, obviously.
I know, but it's like I feel like it's beautiful to transform it like this. I mean, I had a very bad work experience. I worked on a show. One of my first shows I worked on in Radio Can really fucked me up,
Okay.
and I wanted to burn everything. And so
So we wrote a song.
yeah, exactly. It's I guess it's the first song I've ever wrote for the album,
Okay.
and I didn't know it would be an album. And then, I mean, there's so many demos because I didn't know how to get that organic feel. I was like, I can only do electronic or maybe hip hop.
Right.
So, like, I mean, there was like a lot of people who came in, phrase, added like some extra guitars that Farley did. And then,
Farley, the bass player.
yeah,
What's his name?
Emil.
Emil Farley.
Emil Farley.
I'm saying Chris Farley. No, wrong guy.
and then the drums, phrase, redid him. And then, what else? Then I recorded my vocals in São Paulo at Zopelan's house. Like, it was like I was like, okay, because I was like looking for a direction for this song.
Right. Okay.
And then, and then Eric singing with me and doing the songwriting with me.
Okay.
Because it's really about like, okay, like the first bar is like, yo, I was about it, he was about it, she was about it, and we talked about how it's going down. Like, we organize ourselves about like fighting those isms in the system. And then the song starts, we're in a near. One leaves you hoping, another leaves you dry. One hopes that the grounds you lay would erode the sands of time. One leaves you hoping, darling, another leaves you dry. One leaves when it's time to show up, and you're left holding on to the ground. If I could, I would burn it. If I could, I would burn it. C'est Petite Dessalines Moyer, which means I am the daughter of Dessalines, which is a Haitian revolutionary. And then I finished the song with like Coupe tête boule caille, which is like cutting heads, burning houses, which is like a chant people were singing in the Haitian Revolution.
Cutting heads, burning houses.
Yeah. My people were singing that. Yesterday was Haitian Flag Day, actually.
Shout out. I remember that. Yes, of course. I saw it.
You saw it.
I love it. I'm so fucking there for it.
Oh my God. I feel like it's like Haitian Flag Day is important. I mean, you have Ottoman descent, right?
All these acknowledgements are important to me.
Yeah, because like Haitians helped the Ottoman get their freedoms. And
Beyond
things like,
that,
I know. But then
I hear you.
connection and solidarity.
Absolutely.
That's what the Haitian flag means, It's really about solidarity, that we, yes, like it was like the land of all free black people, but then a lot of people who were like from different origins like asked us for help, and then we helped them, and then it's just that. And I feel like that's why they put the country in that situation, because they know if Haiti is like in fully standing like tall, it means that there's a lot of heads who are gonna be like cut it down, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, to me, it was just, I was trying to channel that anger, and also especially because there was so many people at work, they were like, yeah, we won't change, we're gonna make this show about change, but they were just thinking about themselves. And
as people do.
And then to me, it's just like, one leaves you hoping, and another leaves you dry. One leaves when it's time to show up, and you're left holding on to the ground. It's like, bro, like, do fucking something,
It is what it is. I hear you. Beautiful.
And life is a masquerade.
Love it. Ooh. This is that shit. Everything you're telling me is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's exactly why I do this podcast. That's the shit I want to know.
That short part. with Ravine.
That synth is disgusting. Ugh.
My God.
Ugh.
Yeah, I can't wait to play it live. It's gonna be nuts.
You kidding me? That's that shit right here. I think my podcast could just be me and people reacting to the music. You know what I mean? Ugh.
Yeah.
I did have some questions, didn't I? I'm a professional. Look at this is the extent of my budget. Can we take a second to talk about the album cover that's going to be appearing on screen right now?
Wow, there's so many layers on this. First of all, I love visual arts. I follow a lot of of painters because I'm obsessed. I think I don't know. I think for a musician, I'm much more visual than I think I am.
I think that's a common theme on the podcast.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm very visual. Like I feel like I need to see, or when we're doing some songwriting I'm doing songwriting with someone, I need to tell a story and then tell them like, oh, there's this color and then this is happening and na. Like I make a whole scenery and then we start writing and then
It helps.
yeah, like
No doubt.
it's always like a visual thing. And then I think it was like time to think about the visual, and I was like, wow, like I really want to work with Baati. And she at that time she was based in Ghent.
What is her full name?
Baati Simons.
That's who painted this painting. Gotcha.
Exactly. And it's one of her work from a long time ago. I think she did that work like 4 years ago or something.
Okay.
Like she changed style a lot since. That's maybe why she's not reposting it.
Oh, really? Okay, well,
But it's
fuck
okay.
it. It doesn't matter. It's
I know.
It's part of your story now, and that's the
Yeah.
beauty of it.
And then at first, like she did a custom one, and I was very specific of what I wanted because I was based up. I sent the mood board was just her work. It was not like other things. It was like her work, and I was like,
Right.
I like this that you did, those colors. Like I'm very specific. Like
But that's smart.
yeah.
You know, you send someone a mood board of somebody else's work.
No,
It's
no.
like, yo, dog, like,
No, I sent her a mood board of her own work.
yes,
But-
smart. That's take note. If ever you need to work with an artist, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I was like, I like this, but I guess she was not like in that zone anymore because she's not painting like she's making the same shapes, but even now she's changing the shapes a little bit. But the color that she's using, she's now more in the brown orangey now. But now the character was like all black, and then
Why did you choose that specific painting?
I think first of all is the colors. I love like the green, the orange, the black, like
What
those,
does it evoke to you when you look at that painting?
I don't know if I see myself in those colors. And then like someone in the bath, like drinking wine and eating. I feel like when I need to calm down, like I like to take a bath. I mean, I don't have a bath anymore, but
We're working on that. We're working on that. You know what I mean? In a couple albums, you know, we'll be like, you know, maybe in an album and an EP later, we'll get
inshallah.
you. Inshallah, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah, like I like you know the bath moment. I love me
course.
some wine. Listen, we made that baby
Hey.
drinking wine
Hey.
and eating shrooms, you know. And then so I was like, yeah, I want something that really like reflects like also those colors. It's bright but it's dark. And then I always work with Gaspacho on the visuals, so he wrote like Mascarade on it.
Gotcha.
And then and also to me it was important. I mean, I love her work. I'm obsessed. But also she grew up in Ghent, but now she's based in South Africa, Johannesburg.
Yes.
But so many things happened to me in Ghent, like my first physical racist assault happened there after a show. And then as well as like one of my most fucked up. Not fucked up. Like I was someone's sneaky link for a long time,
Okay.
and he was based
Hey,
in
we've all
Ghana.
been those. Life is it's a
Yeah,
living experience.
And then I feel like those things were like also,
Mm.
and also for me it was a way to also let go of those things. And it's funny because the guy was like also very emotional when he saw that she was doing the painting, because he was
Right.
like, I bought this painting for my son. Not this painting, but a painting of this artist.
Mhm.
And then you having this in your album cover is full circle. So there's not a full circle for me working with that artist specifically.
That album feels full circle.
Yeah,
It-
it is. To me, I want to close it. I want to
Can I
close
say
a chapter.
something?
What is
It feels that like it almost feels that like, hey, if I was to never make anything else again, this is like the thing.
Why are you spilling my shit?
Because there is much more than just songs in this
Yeah.
album. It's not just like, I think this is dope and I'm just putting out a record. Like this feels complete.
Yeah, it's true. Part of me, for a long time, I was like, this is gonna be my only album.
We never know anyways, right? So that's how we should always treat
But then
things.
off the record, I'm gonna tell you some stuff, and
All right, bro.
but I feel a lot of pressure right now of doing the second one. I owe my label an EP now, but it's gonna be easy. An EP, it's okay, because you don't need to be conceptual and all that thing, and I won't need necessarily like musicians and things like that. I
Mhm.
can blah 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 blah.
Sure.
The MPC one, the Arturia, little studio thing, good.
I hear you. I think, yeah, we'll definitely have to talk about that because, like, I understand the pressure that you're perceiving, but it's
Bro.
just
It's insane right now.
we still have to break down Moonrising.
Oh yeah,
So, and I don't want us to run too long.
excuse me.
Don't apologize. I'm loving all this. I'm gonna start with this stem here. If you can tell me about who this is and how that came about. Comment se dit c'est?
Peut-être qu'elle commence pas live.
Try to steal my light, try to keep me from shining.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear it.
Try to steal my light, try to keep me from shining.
My God, can't believe it.
Try to steal my light, try to keep me from shining.
This song makes me cry.
Try to steal my light, try to keep me from shining.
Okay, can I tell?
Please.
Okay, so
10 years and counting, I'm a full moon rising.
just like the movie, this song is an accident.
10 years and counting,
It's a
I'm
complete
full
accident
moon
that
rising.
fucking blew up. Like, my God, like Gals Peterson played that shit. But like
10 years and counting, I'm a
the story, and I told Dominique Pissemé the story. So I was like, yeah. Like I was fucking around, and I was like, I want to remix a song of Dominique Pissemé. And then my computer decided to crash.
Cool.
But the crashing was very weird. So because I saved the vocal stems on my computer and I saved the session on my external disk, I lost only the vocal stems. Okay? And then I kept like writing to her manager, like, oh, give me back, give me back, give me back, give me
Right.
back. And it never answered. And then 6 months after, because I let it sit, and then the song was like Soweto swing, like, whoa, because I was like trying to do like that, Afro house thing, but like churchy vibes. And then like we were in the studio, and then like Judith was like, nah, I don't want to do none
Judith
of
who?
Judith Little D. And then she collaborates she used to work with Barry's, Dead Obies, Greg Baudin, who else?
She's a professional singer in Montreal.
Exactly.
No doubt about it.
Professional singer, musical director, vocal arranger, percussionist, bass player as well.
I hope she comes on the show one day.
Yo, you should invite her. She lives.
You're invited, Judith. You're invited.
And then I invited her to work on the album because I always wanted to work with her. Like, it was someone that was a friend, but we were always like, you know what, you and I, we're going to make music together one day and then be at the occasion, And then, like, so I had, like, the bass of the song. Like, listen, the song was low-key done. So like the drums were there, like there was a bassline sample free of right that I had. What say?
I hear you, God.
Boom.
We'll get to it.
Boom. So that was a sample, and then I played the keys, but it was not that tight. So David Wishpan like replayed my keys.
Yes.
And then at the end of the second chorus, he makes like the churchy vibe with the organ.
Oh yeah.
But otherwise, it's like all my keys playing, and then like we had the bass sample, and I was like, whoa! Like Emil was like, wow, it feels like me, and then he replayed it and like on his own twist, you know.
Yeah. Those are all like I want to take the time to say that all the people you named are professional killers. You know, and so shout out to all those people. Shout out to David. Shout out to Emil, Judith. Like those are.
It was insane.
That's that shit.
And then I was very moody that day. It was the last day of recording, and then there was like this TV thing that I wanted to shoot. They were taking too much space, and I didn't want to leave, and I was like, wow, no. And I was like in my head a lot, and then we made that song, and I think I left because they were doing interviews and things, and I think I was in the pool, and then I was talking to Judith about deep emotions, and I was like, she was like, let's make a club song for the gay kids and stuff, something that is anthem and things, and then we talk, and then the more and more like the and then like and she does that, and then she records it, and then she wrote "Trying to Steal My Light, Trying to Keep Me from Shining," and then repeats it. Oh my God, I'm not gonna cry. But and then 10 years and counting, I'm a full moon rising, and it meant a lot. Like I'm like, like I kept crying all the time. Even in the movie, when the song starts, I cry, and then when we finished the studio session, I was crying because she was talking about something like so deep, like because I felt like in the past decade of my career, like I feel like I gave so much. So much was taken away from me. There was a part I thought like I wasted my time on some people, and that I would never see that energy back. And then this whole album is a little bit of like, I'm taking that shit up. I'm taking my fucking shit.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
You fucking go, yeah.
And then 10 years and fucking counting. I'm a fucking full moon rising motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a big fuck you, la. You gonna dance on that shit. You gonna fucking dance on that shit. You won't have no choice to dance on that shit. And then so I was like, because I was like, this is a hit.
It is a hit. It is a hit.
And then also because I was like, wow, like I feel myself in this. And then at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna compare me. They're gonna compare me to other
fuck all
producers.
That.
They're gonna
fuck
compare
all
me.
that.
Because till this day they do.
Yeah, but Aisha, this is a thing. The music industry loves to do this. People love to do this.
I don't like to be compared to specific people.
No one does.
Because it's just like you can say it sounds like Little Dragon, some songs, but then like, you know, comparing me to local people, to me it's fucking annoying because like it's like, yo, genre, hey, ton frère il fait ça. Toi, ben là, tu sais, tu le fais, mais comme un peu genre. No. Like, I hate this. I fucking hate this. And I will keep repeating. I fucking hate this because, like, people are different and people go on their own path and people go do the things differently. And there's no better, there's no worse, there's no more this, there's more that. There's just emotions that are, like, you know, said in different ways. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm standing my ground on this. And then, but yeah, this song was like, also, like, it was a beautiful accident. And since we came out of the studio, I was like, wow, I was shook. And then the route that it took, like Phil Rochefort from Vice Center sends me a message. It was like 9 p.m. in Amsterdam, and I was having the bad day. And then he was like, turn on BBC Radio 6. I was like, no. Gals Peterson, no. The song was not out yet, and then Gals Peterson plays it. I was shook. To me, it's like, what? Because I'm a radio lover. I love this guy because he's a selector.
Those who know. It is what it is. Yeah, BBC.
And then he kept playing it, interviews me, chats about it. Everybody in Europe, I play this, they all sing it. I'm like, what? And to me, it's like beyond it being like this bouncy thing, it's like I'm telling my story. Like August 2023, it's gonna be 10 years of me being a DJ, And 10 years and counting. I'm a full moon rising. Like no matter how like my exes fucked me up, or all those friendship breakups, or those stupid industry people trying to fucking do some bullshit on me, like I'm fucking standing. And I'm happy I do. And it's also a message for the other people listening, and that they feel like they cannot, or people are trying to put them fucking bâton dans les roues and shit like that. Fuck that shit. You're still rising, you're still shining, and you still have your own spices to fucking blend. And those peoples are actually blend. They don't have salt in their fucking plate. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, I hear you.
Yeah, to me it was an open call of like, you know what? Like they might try to steal your light. They might keep you, not to shine, but you will still fucking rise. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
You
Beautiful.
will still. You know what I'm saying? Still. And it's like, for me, and I want everybody to feel that way. I mean, of course, like, it's not the first feeling you get from that song, but like, me explaining it, I really want people to really listen to it with that vibe and that celebratory vibe. It's the last song of the album, and in the movie, it's the last song, and it's like in a shape of like rebirth, I'm getting baptized and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not a downer, it's an upper.
Yeah, it's like an upper, it's like the rebirth. To
Absolutely.
Me, it's like yes, I've been in this thing for 10 years, so many shit happened, but like it's like I am alive, and I will still be, and I will always stand. And I'm a fucking powerhouse, and try to fucking tear that down to see.
I believe you, Aisha. This is one of the things I admire the most about you. I love your music and I love everything that you do, but what really touches me is that it's the fire you have inside of you.
Shout outs.
It's something that I have inside of me that I recognize.
Yeah.
When I'm with you, it's calming. It's powerful to feel understood. It's powerful to be with your people.
Exactly.
It's difficult when you always feel that you're pushing against the world, so to speak.
Yeah, how can I say? I don't feel like I'm pushing against the world, but I know I'm focusing too much on the noise sometimes. I have my friend Matt Coates in my head who's like always like, fuck the noise. And for many years I've known him. He's been telling me that, and like, okay, and the more and more it's a practice, it's like, I'm always like, nah, those people, and they're like probably 5, and what are they? Like, what they fucking do, Fucking gatekeepers. Fucking burn those motherfuckers. I'm 100%. So sorry. I'm very violent right now.
No. Yes, you're on the right show, baby.
Non, mais c'est vrai. C'est comme, it's just for what?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And I love proving people wrong. I fucking live for this. Because it's not like, it's not only like yes, it's an ego thing, blah blah blah, but beyond me proving people wrong, I know that when I do, especially the younger, artists who are 25 who write to me sometimes, and they're like, oh, la, 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 and things like those people, because I'm always for the youth, Gayance is for the children.
Gayance is for the children.
It's like, I feel like they see mama, they see auntie grinding, they see auntie being fearless, and they're
You're
like...
You're not that old, dog.
Nah,
Come on.
No, j'ai dit auntie.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
I said auntie.
Yes.
And then so auntie is
Inshallah.
pushing and things. And then so they're like, you know what? Like me too. Me too. I can be like, I take no shit. Or me too. I can be like, no, I know my worth. Nah. Because I'm trying to be like a living proof of like you can be, you can do. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
It's just like, and you don't need to be like have fresh new shoes every fucking week and like be a fucking hype beast, like or whatever. Like you just need to, be yourself and like enjoy life. Be smart with your money. Invest in the right things. Like not on, yes, a look for a show, but not every day you need to stunt.
I
And then
hear you. Yeah.
recycle things, and then also like invest in your mental health. And maybe, I don't have money for therapy personally, but I'm going to hot yoga and I'm doing bar workouts because it makes me feel good and makes me feel, invest in those things.
Yeah.
You think like,
Invest in your health.
yeah, you think that buying a new mic that is like mid-range price is gonna be good for you? Fucking do it. You think that,
Yeah.
paying like X amount for a studio is gonna be good for you and it's gonna make you work? Do it. And if you can have people, like, do it. Stop fucking buying stupid ass, plastic shoes and stupid stuff like that.
That's. What else
No
can I
shade.
say? What else
No
can I
shade.
say? No. What else can I say?
No
Listen,
shade.
this is. I think I'm gonna leave us on the song in just a minute. But I really need to start asking people before. Well, I have a couple more questions before we go. What is the hardest part in your creative process?
In my creative process, I need to be like isolated in nature, otherwise I cannot do nothing. I'm easily distracted, not necessarily by my phone, but by my own thoughts.
Yeah.
Like
And how do you overcome that? You go put yourself in nature?
yes, or I need to put myself in a routine for a week, and then hopefully it's not broke by a show that I have to do
Right.
outside of the city. But then I put myself in a routine for a week because it takes 7 days for a human to get an habit and it takes 21 to break it. So I'm always like with those rules, like, okay, like if I do something like seven days, like I'm super tight on it and doing that, and also not being too hard on myself, like on what I'm trying to do, or my focus has to be towards to. Like you don't have to be too hard on yourself when you're artist. Like I was talking to a friend this morning, she was like, you know what, I don't want to produce anymore. I want to direct, I want to act, I want to write, but I don't feel like I should do that. And I was like, you know what, like take yourself on the artist residency in your home. In your home, you just like, you know what, today I want to be a writer. Today I'm going to write like Hemingway. Tomorrow I'm going to write like Zola. And the other day I'm going to write like Camus. And then I just give it exercise.
Yep.
And then don't give yourself like, oh, my goal is in a year to have a book. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
do
a
that.
big mistake. Or it's like
Don't
people
do
tell
that.
me, they'll say like, oh, one day I'll get into it.
No.
It's like, no, you got to get into it now
You have
and
to
work
get
to
it.
it.
Now, being an artist, like, is discipline, practice, and also like honesty with yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be honest. Like, listen, I think
These are my strengths. These are my weaknesses.
exactly, and then you can talk about those things in your art, and then you'll unfold some things because you've been hiding it, and then next thing you know, you're singing, and you're like, oh my god, I just sang about XYZ about myself, that it's true, and then you connect with your own self with it, and then those things will be notes and like pictures of like who you were 6 months prior or two, and then you listen to them and they're like, oh my god, this is where I was. And
Yeah,
then
timestamps.
exactly, and this is very important. Don't be too hard on yourself because capitalism is creeping on artists as fuck.
Shit.
It's creeping on us, and then you have to be aware and you have to do things on your own rhythm, but still do it. If this morning you just decide to do it for 15 minutes, then shout outs. 5 minutes, shout outs. If you do it for 3 hours, okay. If you exhaust yourself because you did it for 12 hours,
It's not good.
don't fucking kill yourself with it. Just step by step and be good to yourself. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna start and my end goal is to make a big goal project, because you won't do it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Rookie mistake. Aisha, step by step, I like this. Is
Ooh,
there...
baby.
Tell me before we go.
Je parle beaucoup. Hein.
Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to talk. Aisha, before you go, because I think this is the last moment I have with you before you go back. So I want to say it on camera. You know, I want to say that I how much I love you, how much I admire and I respect what you do, and I feel that I really understand your motivations, and I love the way you speak, how you speak your mind. I love how you live. I love to see you trying like this. A lot of things you said in your podcast, I knew already, and I acknowledge them within you. And on that note, I'm going to invite people to go follow you on Instagram at...
Gang.
There you go. It's just Gayance, basically, right?
Just Gayance.
You can also follow the podcast. It's Creative Mood Boy. Was recently hacked. So I need the people who are listening to this, who haven't followed me on the new account, to do so. Everything will be in the link in bio. Gayance's album, her Instagram, her upcoming shows, anything that you need to be and keep up to date with her, as well as with the podcast. I'm going to play the song to play us out.
Yeah.
Aisha, thank you very much.
Merci à toi aussi.